Hi fellow 1/6 scale figure collectors, it's me back again with another one of my Hot Toys figures. This time it's the classic Predator from the movie, and in my opinion this is the best Predator Hot Toys have done to date. As I go around the figure I'll show you a few of the improvements that they've made on this figure compared to previous Predators that they've released. So as usual I'll give you the head to toe look, and then I'll go into it in a bit more detail. Okay, let's start with the body first. The body on this figure is a lot more bulkier, a bit more beefed up, a bit better proportioned. If you saw my video earlier on my Predator 1 figure that I've got, that was one of the gripes I had with that figure, was the fact that the body was a little bit too scrawny. This to me represents a Predator a lot more. And also the mask on this figure fits a lot better. It's actually nice and tight to the face. It isn't large, doesn't look too big, and I'll show you how they've rectified that, how they managed to do that when I take the mask off. Paint apps, superb paint apps on this figure. Does look like the original Predator from the first movie. If you wanted to make this into the original Predator from the first movie, all you have to do is buy the necklaces that come with the first one and a little bit of extra armour that sort of goes on his elbows, and you've virtually got original Predator then. As you can see on his body, he's got his netting, which is a fabric. This is all pre-assembled from the box, so you don't have to worry about putting any of this on. Armour, he's got 2 bits of shoulder armour there, as I say, just a little bit over a part of his chest. Moving on down, his loincloth is a fabric, which is a fabric material, and very same as the original Predator. He's got the groin armour and the thigh armour. I will move this figure around. There's the netting on the legs there again. Moving on down, he's got his knee and shin armour. Nice sort of battle damaged on that. Battle damage detail, shall I say, on there. And on down to his feet, slight little bit of armour on the top of his foot, but great paint apps on this figure. While I'm down here, I'll show you the stand. At last, Hot Toys have brought out sort of a diorama for one of their figures. This is based on the Predator camp from the movie. Great addition to the figure. It is all plastic, so you've got the little skull there, and you've got an large animal skull on this side. Moving on round, a little bit of rock formation there. It's a very sturdy base as well. My figure stands on this perfectly, not a lot of chance of him sort of falling off. And on the back, on 2 plastic poles, they are supposed to be wooden but it's plastic, is like a skin of an animal that they've killed. They've left it out to dry, so obviously they'll take that home as a trophy. On this arm, he's got his customary wrist blades. It's not metal, it is plastic, and they do move in and out. Nice detailing on that. Comes with several different hands. You've got I've posed him with 2 open palmed hands here. It also comes with this fisted hand, and the same again for the other side. Another sort of relaxed type hand, and this hand which is used for his detonator on his arm, used for pressing the buttons. Speaking of which, here is his detonator. I've shown it with a hologram on it, and if I just show you, it does have a light up feature. If I can get it to switch on. There you go. Let's get the focus. This is a light room, and it does show up quite well in this light room. Move him round a bit. See, you can lift that up. There's the light with a little bit of his detonator. If you didn't want to show him with this hologram, he does have another hologram. I can. There is a certain way of putting this in. Just bear with me a sec. There you go. It's also got that hologram as well, which you saw from the film. And if you didn't wish to show him with this attachment, he does come with his customary detonator, which also lights up. That's where the light goes through, and it does open and close. So look at that nice detail on there. A lot more detail on this than on a lot of the other Hot Toys figures. And there's all these little dials inside there, so you can swap them over if you wish. Just click straight on with those two clips, nice and easy. Moving on up to his shoulder, his customary shoulder cannon. It is articulated. You can have it down, you can have it up, and it does swivel quite a lot actually. I'll come to the masks in a minute. Moving on round to the back, there's his medikit. It doesn't open up. Bit of a shame, but I suppose you could buy an additional one that opens up if you wish to go with this figure. But nice paint apps. Dreadlocks. They are rubberized dreadlocks. It's a nice touch. They hang down perfectly. And at the back here, might just be able to see it. That little white bit there, that's where his helmet plugs in for the lighting. And the little switch is just up here. Can't quite see it, but it's just in there. Onto the face mask. You can have 4 different looks to this figure. You can either show him with this, his full face mask here. He also comes with a battle damage face mask, and I'll now show you how they fitted it. These all light up as well. I'll show you that in a sec. With the other Predators that were released, the helmets didn't have this fitting inside the jaw here. Having this fitting here has enabled it to fit more snugly on the figure, and it doesn't protrude out and it doesn't look huge on the head. And that is how they've rectified the mask problem they've had with previous ones. If you saw my other video on my Predator 1, that was one of the things I didn't like about him, because his mask was way too big. What I might do is buy an extra head from this guy and place it onto my Predator 1, so that the mask is perfect. And as promised, it does have a light up feature. If I can get round the back here and find it, it's very small. There you go. So it's a very light room, and this does light up brilliantly. In the dark it's even more impressive. So that's his targeter. I don't normally keep the batteries in my figures just in case they melt, but I just wanted to show what it looked like with his lights on, and I will take the batteries out later on. Say there are 2 other looks. If I just pull this mask off, the head might come off, and it has done, because the head is very loose, I find, on my figure. So it's just a ball joint, but it does go back in nice and easily. Okay, there's his face. What you have to do to put the mask on is you take his jaws out either side, his mandibles, and also this bottom of his jaw you have to take out, which is just this little part here. So I'll go ahead and put this in. Fits in there nice and snugly, and I'll show you with his closed mandible look. There he is with his mandibles closed. Superb detail, great paint apps on the head on this as well. Nice piercing eyes. As you can see, this is a much better head sculpt than a lot of the other Predators, especially the Predator 1. The Predator 1 was a good head sculpt, but this is much better. I'm sure most people who have got this figure will agree with that. A lot of people prefer the Predator 1 because it is the original Predator, but I just think that this one is much better sculpted. And I'll show you now with his open mandibled look. A superb detail in the mouth there. See the old veins in the side of his mandibles. Paint apps inside the mouth are much better than the Predator 1. I defy anybody who says that the Predator 1 is a better figure. It isn't. I'm a huge Predator fan, and I'm sure all the other huge Predator fans out there would agree with me that this is by far the best head sculpt Predator around. It's just superbly proportioned as well. It's how the Predator should be. So it doesn't come with any other accessories. Bit of a clumsy sort of video with my hands getting in the way for moving things around on him, but I just had to show this figure off. I'll give you a 360, starting from the bottom and moving my way round, up. Poseability wise, there is a little bit of a restriction, especially with the head. The arms are very stiff on mine as well, but with a little bit of moving it around, I'm sure you could loosen the joints out and get some really dynamic poses with this figure. So with the head, you are a little bit restricted. You can move it round this way quite easily, up and down, but when moving it round to this side, that's about as far as it will go, purely because of the shoulder cannon there does stop his head from moving round. All in all, top-notch figure. I'll probably give this one probably 9.5 out of 10, almost a 10 I would say. It would have got a perfect 10 if it had been, the joints had been more supple. An awesome figure. If you haven't got any Predators in your collection and you want to get a Predator, I'd highly recommend that you get this one over the Predator 1, and then do a little bit of conversion, buy some extra bits and put it on him to have him as a Predator 1, and then when the new City Hunter comes out at the end of the year, have him with him so you've got the perfect Predator 1 and Predator 2 together. Just a quick note on figures that I'm selling. You might have seen on a few of my previous videos I was selling my Hot Toys Space Marines from the movie Aliens. I've now sold 4 of them. I've got 1 left, and that's Private Drake. So he's the last one I've got up for sale. I am considering putting my June and Newt figure up for sale on eBay. I don't know yet. So if you are interested in purchasing the Drake figure anyway, go on to eBay and type in Daz3017 and you'll see it on there. I've got him up for it's less than £200, which is quite cheap for a Hot Toys Space Marine. So until my next video, this is Lycan of the Underworld signing off. The next video will possibly be a bit of an update on my Monster Hunters, and hopefully this week my Red Ninja from G.I. Joe should turn up, as well as my Nick Fury and my Commissioner Gordon might also turn up, and my Angelica, I think her name is, from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, the 4th one in the series. So all 4 of those should be here this week, or certainly within the next 10 days. So that's enough of me waffling on, and I'll catch you guys all later.